Collective, these three cards, they came out and they wanted me to keep them. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with it. We have 44, reclaim your power. 55, time to heal. And 6, lay a solid foundation. I don't typically say the numbers, but they're saying they're significant to you somehow today. The double 4455, this is progression. And they're wanting to point out that as you slow down and take time to heal, this means literally doing nothing but crying, processing, journaling, doing whatever it is that you do to have self-care and self-healing, whatever healthy versions you have of that. Slowing down is actually what's helped you speed up. Because there was something about you, you didn't realize it, trying to lay a new foundation, a solid foundation on one that was already crumbling. Well, there you go. You're about to be a champion. Hold on. She's going to call back. I know she will. Just a second. All right. They're saying that was poignant for the Carrie Underwood Champion song. That's my ringtone. I love that song. I have personal ringtones for certain people. They make me laugh. But that one, they want to point out the reason you're going to be a champion is because you took the time to heal. If you're in the process of doing this right now, there's something about you don't realize slowing down and taking time to kind of just let your body recalibrate to get messages through movies, through songs, through downloads, through other people answering a question for you. Like you have a question in your mind that you posed to source, and then all of a sudden a stranger is next to you somewhere in a store and they say something that clicks, and it's the answer to the question that you posed in your head. There's something like you've been healing like this for quite some time. They're also wanting me to point out that you weren't doing something about you're not doing it in a typical traditional, let's go to a therapist and on Monday at 7 p.m. and sitting there from 7 to 7:50 and having them write in a notebook, and as you're talking about doing talk therapy, it's like you have been living your healing. You don't go and sit in a therapist's room for an hour once a week and then try to process what you've done with the therapist. There's something about you doing like an ongoing, ever-present healing with source. In a lot of ways, you haven't even recognized this pattern, but you've done something really unique where source knows exactly what you need to feel, when you need to feel it, how to pull up those emotions, who to have around you when those emotions are present, where you should be. Everything was, it's almost like everything was completely cooked up for you to be perfect so that you had the perfect atmosphere to heal in the times that you needed it. And the other times where you felt like you needed that time to heal or you needed that time alone, those were the experiences that were showing you what needed to be healed. So there's something about like you have learned through experience what needs to be done. It's just very different. There's something, you've done something differently than most people. 3, 4, 5 was just on the clock. It's like you've progressed in a way that other people, it's looked messy to other people. It's looked fake, phony, unrealistic. But it's absolutely vital that you understand what you're doing is going to be like a trend that you're going to be setting for future generations and how they heal. That's what the source is wanting to point out. You're doing something now that looks fake and phony to other people, possibly. But that's because they haven't experienced this themselves. And they haven't learned it from some guru. And the reason they haven't learned it from some other guru is because you're the guru. You just haven't stepped into the guru role yet. And that's what they're wanting to point out. You're doing something very different than other people have ever done. So your foundation is not being put on a cracked foundation of something over the past. That foundation was completely wiped clean and obliterated. The ground was completely turned over. Everything was completely made flat and clean and new. And you started rebuilding on top of that. And as you were building, you were also being shown experiences, and through experiences, what other things needed to be healed along the way to help you keep going up and up and up and up and up. They're they're wanting to point out, see how with this Eight of Swords, how it kind of came out sideways, where you once were not seeing a way out. You're starting to see or feel, more so feel a way out. And it's because you were holding on to some type of dream, holding on to some type of vision. It's not really the right words. I guess the best word I could come up with would be understanding. There's just something that, it's like, when you just know something, you just know it's right. You can't explain why, you don't know how to explain something, you just know. There's something about you innately inside, you just know what you're doing is right. And you can't see yourself going in any other direction but the direction you're in right now. And it's because you have that deep just knowing. It may waver day to day, depending on how you're feeling. I'm not saying that. But there's always something that brings you back to it, right? That's what's helping to break you free, because these experiences in the past, source has been showing you through experiences what you've been holding on to that's been keeping your mind in a prison. It's your mind that's been locked up. This is interesting. They want you to consider looking at others differently, and this is interesting. We tend to look at the people who are put together, well dressed, well clean. I heard clean. It's like those are the people we tend to gravitate towards. They're wanting you to start to gravitate towards people who don't look like that. Like almost like homeless people. It's like they're trying to show you the true nature and true hearts of people. And it's like they want you to see somebody who looks like they've got it all together and how they treat you, and then somebody who doesn't really look like they have it all together based on appearances, and then see how they treat you. There's something like that. Like you've had experiences, or they're wanting you to, if you haven't had it yet, have experiences where, I don't know, let's just say you walk into a store, you have to talk to somebody. For whatever reason, you just have to talk to somebody. You have two choices. One choice is really put together, beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, whatever, smells good. But there's a line for this person. And then there's this other person who not as good looking, maybe doesn't smell quite as good, doesn't stink, but just doesn't smell quite as good, not as appealing to you. They want you to start choosing people like that, because they're wanting you to start seeing people for their heart and who they are, instead of what they have on the outside and how grim. Well, that word came out, so that to me means like that's giving me the energy of people who look really well put together can be very grim, where they don't want you looking at it like that. They want you to be able to look at people who are like this as great. Because when you're able to see people, like if you're able to see somebody like this, that's literally like this on the outside, and you're able to look at them with powerful eyes like this and see the beauty in them, see them as whole, that's you looking at them the same way Jesus is looking at them, seeing them as a whole person. There's something about, this is what Source has done with you. While you may have looked down and out to other people, you may not have been the obvious choice to other people, you may have not been able to play the part like other people, your character speaks volumes. Who you are inside has spoken volumes to the right groups, the groups that are for you. And those are groups you're going to be surrounded by. I'm getting quite soon. I was trying to get a different word, but I'm getting quite soon, quite soon. So almost like October, November, quite soon. That's what I'm getting. The source wants to point out if this is your story where it's almost like, think about all the people that we overlook in society. People who aren't dressed well, people who are overweight, who just look average, everyday people. And then you see the girls who are the head turners, see all the guys who, looking back at those girls, there's something about, it's like you were being hidden in plain sight, healing in plain sight, so that when you are somewhere like put up on a pedestal and made to be the mouthpiece for God, is what I'm hearing. All those people that overlooked you in plain sight, saw you going through your growth through, are going to be the same ones in deep, deep regret, because they were looking at the shiny new toy that, the outer layers, the things that look brand new and pretty on the outside. I heard young, pretty and young, younger, young ones. I don't know. So maybe it is somebody dating. Maybe you weren't chosen. You're just like they were choosing people who were younger than you because they thought you were too old or something. I don't know. But that did just come out of my mouth, so I'm going to keep it there and say that was significant for somebody. What should they do right now? You have the Three of Swords, Justice, Four of Swords, and Strength. They want you to know that you're like, the more that you heal and go through this process, the more you are balancing things out in your life and bringing things into balance in other people's lives. Because you see, they're pointing out the strings on this heart. You see how there's a string here, all of these strings. So as your heart, let's just say your heart was being ripped, and it's all these people pulling these strings that's ripping it. Each person's pulling the string. Well, they're not able to pull the strings anymore because you've healed the heart. It's like the strings it's not able to pull through anymore. And as you are healing your heart, those strings are snapping back like rubber bands. So as you heal this heart and it becomes whole, these things that they're pulling breaks off at the heart, and it's snapping back, and it's hitting the person who was pulling at the heart and hurting you. They want me to point this out. They're getting stung every which way. So you see how there's a string here, here, and they're kind of all over. It's like these strings are snapping one person, and they're coming back and like hitting them here and on the leg and over here, and it's like hitting every part of the body, and it's happening. Yeah, and it's happening like in succession pretty quickly, and it's happening as a surprise every time. And they're having me do this over and over to point out how consistently these people are being snapped right now. Like, your healing is doing this. Snap, snap, rubber band, rubber band, rubber band, rubber band, rubber band. It's like they're getting hit. I heard that they think you're a witch or something because I don't know, something that you do, it's like they feel like they're going through suffering and pain because you're doing something with like a voodoo doll or some shit. And that's not it at all. It's their karma. It's what they're receiving right now because you chose not to snap back. You didn't pull a string on their heart and rip their heart back. You just started healing your own, which made these strings break off the heart. So they want you They really want you to focus more on your meditation practice again. And I heard again. So that means that at some point you were good at this, or you were really practiced in it and possibly have gotten away from it. They want you to get back to that. Your mind is much stronger than you're allowing it to be right now. And it's because of fear of the unknown. They don't want you to worry about anything in the future. You don't need to worry about anything. Like, everything is coming to you exactly the way that it should. But you're going to find as you meditate, I'm hearing it's like life is going to start just feeling a little bit more like magic for you. Where as your meditation practice starts to get really good, the meditations are really good, which causes your days to pan out and be really good as well. It's going to feel like magic. Almost like where you've been feeling like you've had to bang something into place. All of a sudden you meditate and it just slips right in. You don't have to bang it anymore. That's what they want you to focus on. Continue to heal your heart, because it's causing a lot of backlash for other people, so that they heal as well, and that they will leave you alone. They will stop pulling on the strings. As you heal, it's causing them to get slapped, get stung, right? So they don't have the time or space or desire to punish you right now, because they're dealing with their own punishment. Your healing is their punishment. So keep doing that. Get on to your meditation practice, and that's a good one for you guys. Peace and love.